So a quick look at the outside first. The machine looks in very good condition. Just the steam wand is a bit bent inwards. That's usually a result of posting without taking it off. The base looks good. First of all, let's test it and see if there are leaks or anything which doesn't work properly. Let's put the water in first, always before turning the machine on. There is too much of a hissing and the pressure is not building up. The safety valve is not working. So once the machine is out of pressure, we remove the safety valve. Make sure there is no pressure left in the boiler. It's a 60mm wrench. The machine is still very hot, so I handle it with care. And this is the valve. This type of valve is designed to avoid vacuum, as I will explain in a dedicated video. So apparently the gaskets, most probably the inner bit is not sealing well, so it allows the pressure to escape. There is a little bit of limescale, but the thing is not stuck. So this inner element is what relaxes when the machine's pressure gets low and it lets air in to avoid vacuum. But it's also a delicate part which might easily fail. Now we're having another run with the borrowed valve. This valve is working, so now the machine is building pressure. And here we are, more problems. But yeah, once I tighten it a little bit more, the machine gets up to pressure and it feels tight. So I don't see anything specific at this point. Just a little bit more. Then I will turn the machine off and begin disassembling it to pieces. Make sure you completely bleed the pressure out. I got burnt it once when I opened the boiler cap and there was still a little bit of pressure. Unplug it, absolutely unplug it before removing the water. You don't want to switch it on accidentally without water. You're gonna burn the heating element if that's the case. Now with the Torx screw, we just remove the plastic base. That was a T25 in this case. The base is not cracked. We have a look. Everything looks healthy. May 99. Now we have a bit of information. But I found out the thermostat is detached. It was not operating literally. And there's another thing. This doesn't look very good. Like, there is direct contact between the pressostat pipe and the main wire. That needs to be avoided. Not just because the pipe gets fairly hot, not too hot, but also because it bends the pipe in a very inconvenient way. So you just want to allow some air between the two parts. Just enough for things to be separate without bothering each other. Now let's fix the thermostat, put it back in place. I'm not opening the boiler here because I determined there are no leaks, everything looks healthy, so it's pointless to disturb the whole thing. So I just clean the part. Give it a cleaning here as well. And we apply a little bit of new thermal paste to it. Just need to spread it. That's very annoying on fingers, but that's life. You don't need to overdo this, as long as it covers the whole area. Now, if you're finding this video interesting or helpful, it would be really appreciated if you could like, subscribe, or maybe share in some kind of groups or with somebody you know. That's the best way to help the channel, and it's completely free. Thank you very much. being a bit over the top here, is in. Come on. It's already time to close the base. Do not overdo here, because that's just plastic. You don't want to break the thread. $10mm spanner. Let's remove the group head. Actually, let's remove the lever first. So remove the rings, the pins, and we take the roller out. It's just easier to do it when the group head is still mounted. It looks okay. Not too much limescale. It just looks okay. $14mm spanner. This was leaking, so I will have to replace the plastic washer. And since it didn't end up being straight, I wanted to remove the nut as well. But we need two spanners here, both 14mm, but I don't have two, so I'm gonna figure it out. Because one spanner will hold the thing in place. Here I'm just trying to optimize the fact that I just have two hands. I want to protect the nut, because with these clamps I'm gonna scratch it, otherwise it's really hard. That's why we need two spanners. Okay, it's giving now. Let's remove the safety valve which we borrowed. As you can see, this is a lot fresher, less scale. So I said the group head looked okay, but what's that? So the suction pipe is literally split in half. That means it's really not pulling water up the way it should. This definitely belongs to the bin. That's beyond repair. I still don't understand how this could have happened, because it's split open here. And also here. What? I don't understand that. So it's basically sucking steam instead of water. But let's move on. So you always protect with cloths, especially in this brass model, because it has transparent paint. You don't want to crack it. Take the gasket out to remove the shower screen. Gasket looks healthy. It's very flexible. It doesn't crack. And here we have what looks like a plastic piston. It's not great. But sometimes they look like plastic, and then when you clean, it's brass. Now let's remove the piston. This was loose already. Wow. Should not be. So we put a pin just to block the shaft. Take the other nut out. Remove the pin again, and we can extract the piston. Doesn't look very healthy to me, actually. This is like too much grease. You don't need to overdo the grease, because then you drink it. That's where the water of your coffee comes in. Yeah, the gaskets are definitely ready for replacement, and this is definitely a plastic piston, unfortunately. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just staring at something which clearly needs replacing in terms of the gaskets. But yeah, let's move on. Here the cylinder, it feels very scratchy, like there is a lime scale. We need to remove that. We need to be really smooth, otherwise it's gonna scratch the new gaskets. And here we go, we gently scrape it off. I could have even descaled the full thing first to remove the excess first, but whatever, it's the result is what matters. Right, we now randomly move back to something else, because that's the way I operate. It's time to put this nut back in on a brand new plastic washer. Tighten it. Never overdo things. Tight, but not too tight. Here is I put the plastic back in place. There is nothing to figure out here, actually. Once it clicks in, it's in. And here I'm going back to the safety valve. So this is really random. Careful not to lose it. This is the responsible bit, and I can feel the O-ring was very much stuck. But anyway, I think once this valve is cleaned, there is life left. We don't need to spend lots of money buying a new one. So we remove the rubber, we can see the mark, but on the other side, that's new. So that's good to know, because I could just flip it and extract some more life out of it. So I'm gonna clean the parts. In this case, I'm doing it wrong because I should have just descaled it instead. But as I said, let's flip this seal because it feels healthy, it's still flexible, doesn't crack. Let's put it the other way, and it's brand new. It's literally brand new. Same for the O-ring. I don't have another one, but this looks fine. So we put it back in place with a little bit of grease. See, and we just reassembled the valve using a little bit of grease. This is tricky because it's really small, but once it clicks, at least partly, it's on. You just push it all the way in. There you go. And so basically here we have a brand new valve without spending a penny. We put it back in place. This time for good, so we put the drip, the nut. We set it tight again, tight but not too tight. We want the drip pipe to possibly drip over the drip tray, not on the base. And that's done. Back to the group head, randomly. So now it's reasonably smooth, as much as I could do. It's important to inspect it. This gasket is really at the end of its life, flattened. So I replace it. Anyway, you should really descale the parts. I was still a beginner here and I didn't do that, but I mean the scale is minimal, but still. And also I didn't have a look at the central seal for the shaft. Okay, it worked, but I could have done an inspection there. So this is not exactly servicing the machine, and also this gasket clearly needed replacement, and putting them back in place. Okay, it was not leaking, but these are clearly at the end of their life. Anyway, they can go on for a little bit longer. So a little bit of grease, not too much because you don't want to drink it. Any excess stays there, goes in your coffee. So push it down, but then you will meet the cloth. So yeah, you want to help the seals to get in, but in this case they're flat, so it's okay, they will get in. And then you meet the cloth, and you have to remove the group head from the vise. There we go. You wipe off the excess because you don't want to drink again. If it goes in the shower screen holes, it gets stuck. You might want to leave a little bit to help the gasket to sit in more easily, but don't overdo. Now it's time for the piston adjustment. This is an important thing. So the first nut is actually the important one. The two nuts have different functions. You don't just want to put them randomly in. So have a look at this. Push the piston down. Actually, yeah, let's give it more room. And look at this. See, the piston touches the shower screen. And we want to tighten this just enough so it goes slightly higher. So it goes as low as possible, but it doesn't touch the shower screen. I will explain this better in other videos dedicated to this. Tiny bit of grease on this gasket to help it go in, just a tiny bit. Use the portafilter to push it in evenly. So it sits in, and then you turn to push it even further. And that's installed. Right, this is a new pipe. I mean, it's not new, but it's healthy at least. I don't know why I didn't finalize the second nut up there. This is not the way you want to do it. So this video is probably not the best practice. Okay, this needs to be straight, but it doesn't need to be super straight. Sometimes it locks a little bit before or after. So I put the group back on. I should have done the shaft nut first. I'm just going too random on this. Please don't take this video too seriously. Right, you want to set it flush with the boiler. Make sure you don't over tighten this, because you don't want to stress the threads on the boiler. You don't want to break the machine. There is no way back if you break these threads. So I just want to make it flush. You do a little bit on one side, a little bit on the other side. Try to screw it evenly. Just tight, but not too tight. The lever. These holes go down, not up like that. Down. So we put the roller back in place. Hopefully I put a little bit of grease in there. I'm probably putting it now because I realized. Yeah. Little bit on the pins. Again, you don't need to overdo, otherwise that will collect dust. First pin. And the other one. Make sure this don't jump away. It's very easy to lose pins like that. But anyway. Here I'm placing the basket in the portafilter to install the shower screen gasket to its final position. And we remove it, so here I didn't show how to reassemble this because I use hemp, which in a way is better, but it's really not what you want to see. So I'll leave that to another video. But the machine is pretty much remounted. It's time to test it. You first add water and then you plug it in, otherwise there is a high risk that you burn the element. Oh yeah, a little bit of grease here. And there you go. I should have replaced all these gaskets. That was bent and now it's not bent anymore. You just want to be careful not to crack the metal or the finish. So everything works beautifully. I should have replaced many of these gaskets, so this video is not really educational, but in a way it shows how you don't always need to replace everything. When there is life left, there are no leaks. You can just wait. You can just use the parts to their fullest. These things are working fine.